the truth hurts, good, that means it's working. Welcome back, where the results don't lie, and neither do we. So let's.
After the age of 25, women in America pretty much only see men as transactional. That is it, okay? If you think that she's looking at you and saying, oh, he's good looking, he's tall, he's nice, that's why I want to date him, you're wrong. Majority of these women are just after what you could do for them, and your looks, your height, your fucking nice personality will always come last, okay? They will rather date a man who is 5'3" with acne all over his face and 300 pounds if that person could change her life, or she could, gain a bunch of money or status from that man. Okay, that is what it is. That is what feminism in America has done to these women. They do not value men. They do not respect men. They have no interest in men besides taking from them, and that is it. And if you don't believe me, look at the court systems. Look at the divorce rates. Look at every single man on social media who has lost everything, their house, their kids, pay money every month. And then the woman never gets remarried. She just collects alimony while living with a boyfriend. Or if she finds somebody who has more than the ex-husband, then she'll marry that guy and do the same thing to him. Okay? Because this is what it is. There is no love from a woman in America anymore. It does not exist. If you think that she loves you, she doesn't. These women are Oscar award-winning actresses by default. They are born this way. Okay? They will look you dead in the face and tell you they love you, they care about you, and that you're all this and that, and not mean a word. And when they are with their girlfriends behind your back, they will laugh about it and talk about how much they don't respect you or how much they don't care about you. And the girlfriends know and support it because they're actively doing the same exact thing to the men that they're talking to. This is the reality that you live in today. Don't forget it. Don't be a sucker. Feminism has completely rotted the minds of these women. These are not our mothers.
Funny how I don't need a man slowly turned into, where did all the men go? Men didn't disappear, they recalculated. When commitment became liability and effort went unreciprocated, walking away felt logical. Singleness isn't loneliness when peace finally shows up.
So I know it doesn't look like it because I just got out of the gym, but I'm the psychologist that talks about attachment and relationship patterns on here. And I wanted to tell you that the easiest way to get a really sensitive person into like a very irrational, dysregulated rage is to invalidate their emotion, particularly their emotion about feeling lonely or misunderstood. Meaning dismiss it, tell them it's not the big of a deal. Tell them if they get out more, they'll just make a friend and everything will be okay. So people born with really, really highly sensitive temperaments catastrophize and personalize everything. So they really need someone outside of them throughout their development to mirror back that they're okay inside and that the world isn't going to crumble, and that negative emotions and reactions doesn't mean that they're bad. It's just a part of being human. And if they don't get that, it's not just that they feel alone. It's that they fear that there's something wrong with them. So I'm talking about a highly sensitive person, male or female, that either through like over control or neglect or not attuning, not understanding, whatever, they end up feeling not only alone, but also defective. And that lends itself to disorganized attachment or fearful avoidant attachment. Or, and I was talking about several videos ago, the overlap between OCD and bipolar. If they have a little bit less sensitivity, they'll be more ritualistic and more OCD and less like a bipolar borderline-ish presentation. And then they'll be an externalizing avoidant attached person. But that is a video I've done before, not going into it right now. You know, these people, because of their high sensitivity with misattunement, they crave other people to understand them and get them. And they're very sensitive if other people don't. So these are the kids who, if their teacher doesn't understand them, or something simple, like their teacher gives them a lower grade or misjudges them and punishes them when they weren't the one talking or whatever, they are so dysregulated. It's not like, oh my gosh, that was annoying. And it's not like the PDA thing where they feel like their autonomy is taken away and they're being unfairly controlled and it was unjust. It's like they're hurt. They're deeply hurt that their teacher doesn't understand them. And these are the kids that the same thing, if they don't get into a party or whatever, it's deeply upsetting. And I would see these older kids and teenagers in therapy and I would be like, whoa, they're putting so much emphasis on like somebody that should be a peripheral character in their life, a teacher, right? To confirm something about them. And they don't have like a stable foundation of I'm okay inside, ideally formed in early childhood with a caregiver. And now I see adults in therapy who are navigating relationships and they go into interactions with their partner that seemingly on the surface aren't that big of a deal. Like, oh, it stresses me out when the dishes aren't done, or something superficial like that. But they are so deeply dysregulated, and their partner looks at them like, oh my gosh, what is the big deal? And then that makes them even more dysregulated, because at the root of it, they're going through their whole life just trying to heal this wound of understand me. So instead of saying, well, that wasn't a big deal, or fixing it, like frantically doing the dishes, if you've got a partner with this kind of wound, I'm not telling you to be a doormat, bend over backwards, jump when you say jump, because sometimes if these highly sensitive, traumatized people aren't being understood for a prolonged period of time, they will replace the need to be understood with the need to be accommodated, and they'll start to control. I'm not saying if you're the partner of this person, accommodate them. I'm saying just take a second to repeat what they said. Yeah, it really makes you stressed out when the dishes aren't done. And see if that takes the tension out of the room, because they are hurt. And one of the developmental deprivations was they didn't get attunement. Well, like,
Men listened for years while being told they were unnecessary. They took notes, then exited quietly. Now the need is suddenly emotional, financial, and practical. Timing matters, and this realization arrived late.
I don't know when we're finally going to realize that more and more men are single because they want to be single. Because they've built up their lives. They like their day-to-day routine. They buy what they want and can afford. They spend time on whatever hobby they enjoy. But what they don't want is making the mistake of sacrificing those things for something less than what they already have. And I get it. We've heard that women are raising their standards. But ladies, men are too.
Men didn't wake up bitter. They woke up aware. They saw relationships turn into negotiations with no upside. So they chose solitude over constant compromise. Turns out freedom ages better than validation.
why men have given up on women. Let's face it, the red pill community was not built overnight. As both a woman and a psychotherapist, my journey has been humbling to say the least. The number one reason that men have given up on women and on love is solely because the gap between men and women is getting larger and larger. With women, there's the movement of, I don't need no man. And then with men, you have that movement of women are a liability. So in my practice, I try to teach clients how to close that gap. The truth is that relationships and genuine love is beautiful. And it's a really powerful achievement. Man or woman, let's face it, we need one another.
Men aren't anti-relationship, they're anti-risk without reward. When accountability was optional and expectations were endless, interest faded. Now singleness feels like stability. And stability is addictive.
A loneliness epidemic. Men stopped yearning. Men don't yearn anymore. That's all women want. All they want is to be yearned for. Why do you think Mr. Darcy is such a sought-after gentleman, sir? There aren't novels about Andrew Tate's, okay? People aren't writing home about Joe Rogan. Wasn't it Voltaire talking about he didn't want his woman to wash for 2 weeks before he got back? Pretty sure. Why do you think book talk is so popular? Why do you think women are reading these fantasy novels about men who are literally crawling out of their grave to get to her? Hosier's singing about no grave can hold my body down, I'll crawl home to her. That's what women want. It's really not that hard, y'all. The amount of time y'all sink into trying to impress your male friends, do that trying to impress women. You won't be so lonely. Nothing is sexier than a man who is so in love, so infatuated with his woman that he looks at her like a goddess. Trust me, I know. We need to bring back masculine men. We need to bring back yearning. Pine for her, ache for her, write her a dang poem, bring her a flower, bring her a rock. I love a good rock. Well, we're making it harder than it is, truly.
Men didn't avoid women, they avoided chaos. Every boundary got labeled as insecurity, so they removed themselves entirely. You can't argue with someone who already checked out.
Bruh, women can't stand when a man has a good time. Women can't stand when a man has fun. Women are the no fun police. Now, you got to understand what I'm talking about. A lot of men think, oh, I'm gonna make some money. I want to go out and have a good time, and I gotta call a woman. That's low level thinking. Some of them say, I made some money, I'm gonna call my boys. We're gonna go hang out, and that's cool. But there is nothing that threatens a woman more when this man can go out into society and the market not on his cell phone, not on Tinder, not on Facebook dating, and he can just interact. He can strike up a conversation. He can draw in people. He can shake hands, kiss babies, mwah, 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 like he's campaigning to be a president. That pisses them off. Who were you with? Who were you talking to? Who are you banging? Because they don't got the skill like you got the skill, HTL, because you've been holding the line. Let's take a moment. Hold. You understand? When you hold the line, you enjoy your own company. When you hold the line, you walk in the room and the temperature switches. When you hold the line, you walk in the room and it's no longer about attention. It's about you provide tension. Because now people got to see, all right, how do they greet this man? All right, let me talk to you. Now they look and see, is he going to talk to me? Now they going to look and see who will come up to him. Now they going to look and see is he meeting somebody here? And let me give you a cheat code of when you go out and you hold the line. You should always go out and hold the line and go to connect with people. You know what I'm saying? They say, what's the one thing they used to say? They say, increase your network to increase your net worth. So look, don't go out with the type of energy where you're being needy to say, I gotta get a number. You understand? Don't go out with the type of energy to say, I've got to meet a woman. You know, you gotta go out and say, I'm gonna meet people, I'm gonna meet groups, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plant these seeds, because there's only a few of us that's outside. This game of life has a lot of people and there's spectators, but they only have a few players. So yes, it requires you to go out and socialize. Women realize this. Women know the power of knowing how to socialize, how much it can advance you. You got to go outside. Listen, if you hold the line, you got to go outside. I'm being for real. I'm being for real, because what's gonna blow you up is not you at home. What's gonna blow you up is when the streets love you. See, I said this, if I had a record deal, I don't need to go to Capitol Records, go to the top floor and talk to the A&R and try to audition and give a mixtape. If you really got talent, you go out in these streets and you talk to people and see what the people vibe with. You don't want 10% of people to like you. The 10% don't matter. You want to touch that 90. You want to be raw. You want to be real. You want to interact. You want to take the lumps. You want to bounce back. You want to be able to go out and socialize. You want to be able to go out and have fun by yourself. You should be able to go out and have fun with yourself and be able to be home by yourself, and don't look at it as a loss. That's so much fun. You got to have fun in this lifetime. You know, the Joker said, why so serious? Everything can't be like, I gotta work, I gotta sleep, I gotta work, I gotta sleep. Go out and have some fun. And why you gotta say, well, the only way I can have some fun is if I can go get a date. Don't you realize if you go out, you know, and what you do is you make a
Men realized they were expected to bring everything and accept anything. That's not partnership, that's a bad deal. Singleness offered peace, savings, and silence. Hard to compete with that.
Women are scared of happily single men. You want to know why? Let's get into it. Being happily single as a man makes you more appealing. Men that don't need to be in a relationship. Men that have high standards. Men that don't chase women. They chase in purpose. This makes women think, wonder if that man is actually interested in them, and will in turn, y'all listen to this, increase the value of that man and his expressed interest in their minds.
Men watched independence turn into isolation in real time. They just weren't interested in being the solution anymore. Being needed isn't attractive when respect is missing. So they opted out without apology.
Here's the thing, men genuinely don't think that women will be happy alone because they are not happy alone. Has anybody ever seen the statistics about how women who are single live longer than men who are single? And that's primarily because women are responsible for the majority of the emotional, mental, and sometimes physical labor in a relationship or a family dynamic. I've been having this ongoing conversation with one of my guy friends, and he knows that he is actively settling for the girl that he's dating. He said to me the other day, yeah, there's gonna come a time when you're gonna have to settle. I said, settle for what? I don't need a man. Like, of course I want to have a relationship and a family and all those things, but at what cost? Like, we've all watched our mothers and our grandmothers slave away in these relationships for a man that doesn't really care about them or maybe was even settling. I would rather be alone. But men truly believe that women are unhappy if they're single, because they refuse to acknowledge the fact that they are a main reason why we are miserable. Why we're miserable in relationships. Why do you think women are the ones who leave marriages? Because we're chronically unhappy with men who don't value us, who take us for granted, and who will admittedly and actively settle for us. No, thank you.
Men didn't stop loving, they stopped volunteering. They learned that effort didn't equal appreciation. Now they invest in themselves instead. Funny how absence gets louder than presence ever did.
For me, like, when I ask a guy, like, what is he passionate about? Like, sometimes it's like going to the gym, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, like, anything else?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I don't think that you're for me, but maybe I have a friend for you. You know? Like, you're so cute.
You can't make this shit up, man. You can't. You know, like, what's wrong with a dude being passionate about the gym? Like, it's just, this kind of woman does not want to see a man happy. That's it. It's crazy ass expectations in her head, man. But what does she like do for passion? What, makeup? Like, you're gonna do some makeup? Oh, I do makeup and I like to shop. Like, I don't understand this shit, man. I don't understand these stupid interviews. It makes you look so bad. There's so many videos on these interviews of women that just, they cannot stand to see a man happy. Like, what's wrong with that? I just don't get it. Like, what's wrong with a man being passionate about the gym or fishing or... It's a cold game you're playing, man. I hope to God that you guys do not fall in the trap. I hope you guys do not end up with a woman like this. Your life will be over. Your life's gonna be nothing but stress, headaches, bull, and drama, and I promise you, it's not something you want to be dealing with. Pick and choose wisely, man.
Men were told they were replaceable for years. Eventually, they believed it and acted accordingly. Now the silence feels uncomfortable. That's the sound of consequences settling in.
What I noticed lately is that a lot of men rather stay single because they're tired of giving their everything and ending up with nothing. Do you guys agree with that?
Men didn't choose singleness out of spite. They chose it because it finally made sense. No games, no audits, no constant proving. Just peace, uninterrupted.
This idea of the male loneliness epidemic, I think needs to be looked at. Some of these guys are lonely, that's true, but part of the reason is that they're looking at their options and they're like, I can't do it. Like, this is not appealing to me anymore. So they're feeling lonely. There is a segment of guys that are feeling lonely because they don't want you anymore. Like, they're not drawn to you anymore. So they would love to be with a woman who acts like a woman, who's feminine, who's respectful, who's loyal, who's, you know, not going to cheat, who's not going to, you know, their phone's not going to be, you know, shady as you know what, who's not going to be posting like all naked pictures online all the time looking for male attention while you got a boyfriend here that, you know, you got one foot out the door, who's not going to feel like, you know, you can't ask her what she, hey, like, you know, what do you want to bring to the relationship? How dare you? You know, they're looking for like a quality woman and they don't see it. So a lot of those men, it's not all guys who are just trying to seal the deal and can't make it happen. Is that some of it? Sure. But there's also guys who could seal the deal and don't want to. They're just like, well, I'm going to spend a boatload of money. I'm going to spend a boatload of time. And like, what's in it for me? Really, at the end of the day, am I getting any of my boxes checked in this? So they're choosing to just be lonely, and just because they're like, where are all the good women? Where have they gone?
Men realized happiness doesn't require being chosen. It requires being respected, and that wasn't guaranteed. So they stopped chasing and started living. And now the dynamic has flipped. If the truth hurts, good, that means it's working. Welcome back, where the results don't lie, and neither do we. So let's start. You're watching